I took geometry 3 times. I took it in 10th grade. I took it in summer school. Well, I took it in 10th grade. I took it in one summer school. I took it in 11th grade. And I took it in summer school again. So I was 4 times.
That's what all the angles?
Yeah. So when you start doing that's where it was one of those things like, bro, when I didn't get it, I just started to not just lose interest. I started my confidence drop. Mm-hmm. So it was just like I'm stupid. That's how I started to feel in that class. It's like I don't get how come I still don't get
the arms start forming. You felt one more class, nigga, it's gonna be.
The arm and the body.
Oh, dog. He right, and all of a sudden he just see drool. He's like, what the fuck?
Oh,
why is my paper wet? The moon changes to full moon, and then, instead of a howl, you just hear.
His backpack gets bigger. The bus slowly starts pulling up.
The bus shrinks. Starts getting smaller.
Hey man, that was brilliant, nigga. That was
the shoes untied.
Oh shit! They turned
the
Velcro. Yep. Oh.
Thanks for tuning in. Matter of fact, thanks for your patronage. Wildly inappropriate. See how I brutally honest it? Like wow, that boy wow. Don't you see them boys so crazy? Chilling with the homies, dog Keon, Gary, and KB.
That's not crazy at all. That's very normal.
Yeah, because I mean, for me, you know, now because you already.
Oh, for context, Keenan said he thought he was wrong. Did you feel like you were wrong?
Yeah, I feel like I was. Was I a bad person or wrong for thinking about like if I have a handicapped child, like how would I respond? And of course, technically not wanting one, right?
Yeah.
And not because I'm saying like they're bad or because I don't think that, but it's one of those things of like. That's why you were saying the saying is like, what do you want? You want to have a beautiful child, this child tall? It's like, nah, I just want my child to be healthy. I want my child to be full on healthy, no issues. And so we can just kind of like go and have life, I guess, as normal, quote unquote, as possible. How do you feel you would deal with that? Like, Keon, I asked Keon, he was just like, hey, nigga, that's kind of why I stopped.
Yeah.
I had my two, I was like, woo, I'm kind of risking it here.
It's funny because like that is, I'm not gonna say it's the main reason we didn't have a third is because the gap. We waited too long.
Okay.
I was like, I'm not doing no toddler again after these dudes are 5 and 7 years old. Like they're sufficient. Like no.
Yeah.
But that was a slight concern because I was like, I went 2 for 2.
With 2 for 2.
Let me quit while I'm ahead.
And Keon has had some pretty dark conversations with me.
I've said
stuff.
things out loud.
Yeah.
I said crazy shit out loud. So I was like, let me just hush.
Guys gonna be like, a third one's a charm, buddy.
I was like, let me. And I was so like, and this might be, it's not fucked up, but it's just honest.
Yeah.
I was like, I would feel bad if I was like all gung ho on 2. Mm-hmm. And then the third one was like and I was like, I didn't want to have that feeling. I was like, man, I was doing well, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like it was all good. And now the doing struggle, well is crazy, and not that you're not going to love this kid, of not course, raise a kid, all that, but like I had it easy.
Yeah.
And so my, you know, a small concern was that if the third one was either just difficult or, you know, something wrong or
special
something
needs.
just. Or special needs or anything, I was just like, man.
Because it's life altering.
Yeah. Or even shit. I mean, to keep it on the vanity. Even if the third one came out, like, I was like, your brothers are very handsome. You are. Jesus.
Would you feel that way, though, for real?
It's an observation. If people, like, I think the one thing that I do that might get me in quote-unquote trouble, I just say the observations that we have out loud.
For sure.
Like, that's it. It's not like, I'm not saying these things to be... like
mean
purpose, it's just like, and I'm not saying you can't have these thoughts and then correct them or be like, yeah, I saw that, but I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, but people be acting like they don't have these thoughts, and that's where I'd be like, man, shut the fuck up. Like, yes, you do, bro.
Sometimes they're automatic thoughts. You're not even trying to.
Yeah, you're not trying to. You're not trying to be a dick. So if the third one came out less attractive than the other two, see it and then be like, okay, anyways, like I move on, but I just talk about the things that this quick thoughts that we have in our head, and people be trying to act like they don't have these thoughts, and I'm like, fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like they creep in there, involuntarily.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. It's usually just happens off the top where you're not even trying to think about it. Just like, oh damn, why this thought? It's like we all have dark thoughts, and they just happen. You're just like, why did I think about that, bro? I
know I'm not the only one that has thoughts. You'll be in a store and be like, I could just punch this nigga in the face. Like, just random thoughts that I'm not gonna do.
If this old lady want to get my, I'll punch this old bitch.
Yeah, like you're like, I'm never gonna do that. But it'd be funny.
Never?
Like, nah, I'm not gonna punch no old lady. That's crazy. That's crazy as hell.
What about you, Gary?
Yeah,
like,
that's a skill. I think it is a skill because obviously we go into some dark spaces in our mind, and then to be able to take it through those filters and present it to the public and have them receive it like, yeah, I was there as well. That's actually a skill because everybody has a thought, but I think that what gets lost is that like we don't naturally like trust each other for real like that. So it's not about the thought or even about what's said. It's about the action. Like you could say, edgy shit. You know what I mean? Like I don't care if you say, oh, black people do this, but are you still hiring niggas? You know what I mean? So it's about the action. So people associate what you say as the way that you act as well. You know what I mean? Say whatever. Make all the observations in the world, but still be like a genuine person. You know what I mean?
I think that's part of the reason I get away with it is because people meet me or they know me.
And it's like, oh, he's an asshole across the board.
He's cool ass nigga.
That's valid.
Now, and I will say too, I thought about this morning. When I'm on stage, I'm purposefully trying to articulate what I'm trying to say. And trying to make it palatable and trying, you know what I mean? Like I put effort into saying this thing that I know is messed up so everybody can receive it. When I'm talking, I just be like, yeah, nigga, kids, you know what I mean? Like there's no thought. I'm not trying to serve this to you on a spoon to make you comfortable. I just say whatever I got to say. So on stage, I put in way, 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 way more effort. And that's why it goes over 1,000 times better than when I'm just talking. Because when I'm just talking, I'm like, I don't have time to sit up here and think about how to make this receivable for you.
And for me, it's the reverse.
Yeah?
Shit comes off far more palatable when I'm just having conversation than it does on stage if I go there. Unless I got to do like
I don't know.
Work.
You put a lot of effort into this. You put a lot of effort.
Which is why. That's the only reason why. If I could just go up and just say it how it comes out, it ain't gonna go well.
That's what I'm saying though. So we both do the same thing.
Yeah, but your process is my process is much more complicated and rigorous than yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can go on stage and just say it naturally and have it. I gotta know, nigga. I gotta take this through this, and this.
All the filters.
Yeah.
I think it's just when you're talking, you're just like, man.
I think it's based on how much the audience trusts you. Like if you're a new, not saying that you knew if they don't know you like that. I think that's why famous people get away with saying certain shit because it's like, oh, we know you and we trust you. Like we've built a relationship with you via your content, via like, online, whatever. Or we just generally trust you and know that where this is coming from is not like a place of malice. But if you're just on a showcase in an audience that you don't know, like in an audience that doesn't know you, I think it's different.
But it's delivery too. Like Keenan was saying, when I'm talking to y'all, my friends, the wife, nigga, there's zero. Like I'm gonna say the most ridiculous shit. Like if I'm talking to y'all, right? I'm like, and I don't mean this, but I'll be like, I'm on a fucking retarded son. You know what I mean? I'll just say that and we'll laugh or whatever. On stage, I'm gonna be like, I have a slight fear of a child with special needs. Here's why. Like I'm not gonna say. And that's the truth.
But,
you know
that's
what I mean?
Where it really comes from. It's really
the truth.
Yeah.
But with y'all, I'm be like, nigga, I want to fucking, you know what I mean?
But
like, I'm just say that.
Imagine you can say, I don't want to fucking retarded. You can say that in an audience that came to see you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they know you.
Absolutely.
The same way your family know, like the same way we know you to an extent.
Yeah.
So you can get away with it. You don't have to. You don't have to.
Because if I said that in front of my fans, I'd be like, well, hear me out. And they'll just laugh.
Yeah, they just laugh. Yeah, we know you.
We know.
You ain't going to say, hear me out, to be honest. You can go down a path because they know this is your tone. And how
I always say, hear me out because of certain.
That's a comedic beat as well.
And when you open up with something like that, people be like, yo, you be like, no, just wait a second. Like, let me go where I'm going to go. But yeah, that's not for circling back, that's not a crazy thought. I think that's why they say, like you said, I just want a healthy child, because that is a fear, not because you just don't want the difficulty that comes with that.
Yeah,
is what it is. It's like, that's a lot of work, and that's a lot of patience, and that's a lot of...
And it's obvious. Nobody wants a difficult child or a special needs child, like, because we all feel like we're not... It's just like, it just adds a layer of difficulty, and knowing that their life's gonna be difficult. Hard.
Yeah. I feel like even inherent. I feel like inherent.
It's like, this thing gonna make my life harder. Like, I didn't bring you here to make my shit more difficult. Right. Like, that's what we saying.
That's an honest.
It's kind of selfish in a way. It's kind of centered around me.
It's very.
I don't feel like dealing with this.
Now
shit.
I gotta go to all these appointments.
Yeah, and that's. But and what's funny? Even in saying that, I feel like parents of children that are special needs, or people that take care of special needs children, they're gonna be like. They're gonna probably still feel like that. What we're saying is completely messed up and wrong. We're just like, that's just like you said, the honest thought of like, man, like the thought process of having to, like, you don't know how that's gonna. It's already difficult to take care of a child in general.
Exactly.
Right, and then you add this other layer, because that's why you see a lot of parents also give up their children that are like special needs. They'll be like, hey man, I'm not dealing with.
Which I couldn't do that.
Yeah, it's like if you have one to say, all right, I gotta deal with it. But now. And
he the main one that couldn't. I feel like the three of us.
No, you do baby talk, nigga. There's no way you giving up.
Absolutely. He'd be like, like he would.
Oh God, damn.
He would do the whole thing, bro.
It's over.
He would do.
It's over, dog. The show's over.
Hold on. Are you saying I'll do retarded voice?
It's over, bro. The show is dead.
That's hella funny. Can you do retarded voice without retarded arm?
Oh, right.
Why we gotta do retarded arm? What does the arm have to do with it?
I think because we came up in the 90s.
That was the
and
whole.
Damon Wayans. So he did say this in the interview.
Who?
The reason why Damon Wayans.
Oh, that
when he did Handyman, the handicapped people he knew had the arm.
Oh, okay.
So that show was so big. Everybody started doing the arm because that became the staple.
It became synonymous with retarded voice.
So that's why that was a thing. But I think if that character doesn't blow up, I don't think we all.
We don't have the arm.
Nah.
Yeah. But what's retarded voice without arm?
Like, well, now that's all we know. I'm 35 years in. I can't unarm.
Retarded voice without arm is just deaf. It's deaf voice.
Oh, it's deaf.
No, you are correct.
Yeah, it's deaf voice pretty much. Yeah. Did you guys ever used to do this? When it's like we used to do this thing to make people do the retarded arm. We used to be like, hey man, put your hand like this, like on your chest.
I remember that.
And then try to bite your left ear.
I remember that.
And then like, and you feel like, oh, nigga. Okay. That was the 90s, bro. That was just like.
I remember that.
See,
have you been seeing them commercials? I've been sending them to you.
Yeah,
the old school commercials, and they were talking about like all the things, bro.
Really?
Racism, retardation, bro. It is funny as fuck. And they're not trying to be assholes.
Yeah.
It was just a different time. So there was like one of the commercials was basically saying that there are special needs person all around you, treat everybody nicely. They was like, you can have a retarded neighbor. You can have a retarded worker, coworker. And they're not using retarded to be offensive. They're literally, that was the word everybody used.
Yeah.
That was that time special needs. But they was like, be nice and kind to everybody. But they were just saying retarded. That's it.
Yeah.
And I don't even know, because it used to be called mental retardation.
Yeah,
and then
it is.
All of a sudden you
It
can't.
is a scientific term.
Yeah, and all of a sudden you
because
couldn't
we started
say
abusing it, calling normal people retarded. It's like,
so you think a normal person got mad, was just like, nah, don't call me this nigga? Like,
it's all it's all social constructs. That's all.
Now some white lady.
There's no word that is inherently like offensive. There's no word that like hurts you internally immediately. It's just all the way that we associate it and redefine.
Who do you think leads the charge on we can't do this anymore?
Oh, it's the white women.
Think so?
Yeah, white women are white people.
People who want to be good, who try to be good and hold a standard. It's just people who think that this is what makes you good. It's like, nigga, the word retarded or saying it or not saying it doesn't make you a good or bad person.
Wait, here on the flip side, do you think they want to be good or you think they want to be like superior?
Virtue signaling.
You think they want to be good or like superior? Like, I'm better than you because I think like this way.
That's a good question. I don't know.
I think it could be all those things, or it can be just it's like inclusive.
I don't do this
because I don't think that stuff starts like in the clinics or in the hospital. Like, they're not like, we don't say retarded in the hospital anymore. It's like, no, nigga, we need proper diagnosis.
It's probably, you know what it is? A family member of a person who's whatever you talking about, whether it's fat.
Oh, yeah, like if you had a retarded brother and then people start calling you, you Billy. Like, I'm not,
or like, you know, like you said, you fat or you got fat. Because that's even if you go to comedy shows, that's what happens. The people who are there are never offended. my brother has
You're
Down
offended
syndrome.
on the
My
behalf.
sister is fat. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
always so. I
You're
think
offended
as a family
on the
member,
behalf of people who
Yeah.
aren't there, which
Friend
is
or
why
family member.
I don't make fun of people who aren't there. For me, for my own integrity, I'm only making fun of the motherfuckers who right here.
How do you know though?
Yeah.
In the show, they could be somewhere in the room.
Well, like,
they could be in the back.
there's really like no homeless people at the show. Like, I don't have any homeless jokes. You know what I mean? The unhoused ain't at the comedy show. You know what I mean?
the unhoused. I think it's just somebody.
Yeah, you don't know because I did some Down syndrome jokes and it was a Down syndrome dude.
Yeah,
But I didn't see him
yeah.
though. I didn't know until after the show, and he came up
Yeah.
and talked to me. He said he loved it. I think the best compliment I ever got was I did a deaf joke, and this lady after the show comes up to me and she goes, "I heard your jokes," and I'm like,
He's like,
okay,
"How'd you hear 'em?"
she's deaf.
Yeah.
She pulls her hair back to show me her hearing.
That's
aid.
how she heard him.
And she goes, "You's a cold brother," right? And I was dying,
Yeah.
like,
That's the thing,
you
man.
a cold brother, man.
That's the thing. People who have like conditions, like
Yeah.
they want to be represented.
Right.
Yeah.
They want to be seen. Everybody wants to be seen. So if we're at a show and people are making fun of people, like, yo, nigga, make fun of us too. Like, make
Yeah.
fun of everybody.
I think as long as you're not coming from a space of like I'm shitting on you, like, hey, y'all are a piece of shit as people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like you said, they want to be considered quote unquote normal.
Nobody wants to feel invisible.
Right.
So it's just
Like-
like, don't be sensitive with us. It's like, it's okay. We want to laugh too. Like the stuff that me and Keon sometimes we sending each other back and forth. It be the people that are handicapped or retarded, whatever.
Yeah.
They be doing the comedy. They would the nigga be spinning around in a wheelchair doing something real quick, whatever. It's like it's them being funny because it's like they're like, hey, we want to be laughed at.
What's
or like,
crazy? Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, yeah.
Let's say we want to be comedic or laughed at.
Right.
Too.
That's what's crazy. In every subgroup, there's funny shit that happens in every group. For sure. Whether you're white, black, gay, straight, funny shit be happening. So like when I talk about this shit on stage and that person comes up to me, I've had gay people walk up, that was fantastic. Down syndrome, deaf, they be like, this is great. And yes, this does happen. And we do that. I got a sister that's blah, blah. Like it just be it really, honestly,
Small percentage.
it's a small percentage. They're just really loud.
Yeah.
The overly offended, it's small. They're just so loud and they want to be heard. Like they want to be. They're weird to me because it's like it almost comes off as like you want the attention.
Well, there's
It's
also
like it's a weird energy they carry sometimes, like, or when they have everything else was funny except that one thing you said. Who the fuck are you to tell me? Like the audacity to me be like, who do you think you are?
I think they feel like it might be in their duty, or they feel like like you said, they're representing because they feel like those people.
But like,
don't
what
have a
hero
voice.
complex you got?
yeah, they're
feel
trying
like
to
you
give
need
a
to do
voice
that?
to people who they
You know what I
feel
mean?
have no voice.
Right.
But
exactly.
they do, and that's the thing. They
Yeah.
do have a voice. They can
They
speak
do have
for
a voice,
themselves.
yeah.
How
Like
does
nobody
how
asked.
does that voice sound?
No one asked the
already
homeless
done it.
community how they felt about unhoused. Like
Right.
nobody cleared that with them.
No.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, like they don't give a fuck about.
They got
don't
other.
even- they don't
I think
even know.
They're
Yeah.
worried about other things.
Yeah,
You know what I
they
mean?
don't even know
Like-
that they're called unhoused now. They're just like, when did this shit happen?
Yeah,
So that
you gonna put some money in the bucket or not?
yeah,
nigga,
they
like-
think about some other shit.
But it's not called a bucket anymore. It's now called a.
It's a tipping jar.
Yeah,
Like, what the fuck are you talking
tipping the
about?
homeless
bro?
is crazy. Yeah, I think people have. I think it is a kind of a hero's complex. I think it usually comes from the people that are not even in that community either.
Now I kind of understand it a little more because we can't stress enough how dumb people are. Like we
Yeah.
can't stress that enough. So
Yeah.
if you tell someone that this is okay, again, it may go from just words to action, and
Yeah.
they start treating people differently, and they start bullying
Yeah.
people. So it's like, yeah, okay, I get it, because some people are taking into account like, oh no, there's a bunch of fucking stupid people who will
Yeah.
feel emboldened by this
Right.
message.
Okay.
So I get that.
So, with that said, I'll meet these people halfway.
Yeah.
In the world, fine.
Yes.
At a comedy show, nigga, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
in the world,
get
fine.
it.
But people are that stupid to where they can't differentiate a comedy show from the real world. There's a lot of stupid.
It's so many
It's a lot of
stupid
stupid, bro.
So would you say there's more stupid people in the world than there are even averagely smart people?
I think
so.
I think generally speaking,
I think
America as a country, we're
Stupid.
incredibly stupid.
America specifically.
We are
Oh, yeah.
incredibly fucking
Oh,
stupid.
yeah.
Incredibly stupid. We cannot.
Like, what
think
are we ranked in
critically.
education? Like,
We
it's
cannot
so-
think critically.
I think in the world we're probably
We're-
20 something.
we're
maybe?
low.
We're
bro.
very low. We're
Yeah.
very dumb.
For a superpower, we are low
We're
as
very
fuck.
dumb.
We care about money.
We are dumb.
Taking over shit.
Dumb and easily
Easily
led
influenced.
and easily influenced.
Yeah.
And it's
Easily
like,
influenced.
God damn, dude. Like, what are y'all doing? I had that thought the other day, randomly thinking about Charles Barkley's commercial back in the day when he was like, I am not a role model. You remember that shit?
Yeah.
Real big, real popular, because he had got in trouble for doing Charles Barkley shit. I remember he had threw somebody through a glass, spit, all that shit.
He was beating
Charles
his
is
ass,
wilding,
yeah.
right? And people were like, you're a role model to the kids. So he had his whole campaign commercial, I'm not a role model. And I remember being a kid seeing that commercial and not being moved by it. And I was just like, yeah, I don't look up to Charles Barkley. I have a father. And then I think that was the first time in my life where, not on the scale I have now, because I have kids, all this stuff, where the first time I realized, oh, y'all don't have dads. Like, because I never, people, like the people who really be like, kids look up to you and blah, blah. I was like, I never cared. I had my favorite players and blah, blah.
Right.
But I never looked up to actors. And I'm trying to make sure this dude is good. Like, keep Polly off my back. And he's the one teaching me stuff and things. I'm not looking to Charles Barkley to be like, that's how I need to be a man. And that was the first time I was ever conscious of a father being in the home. Was just like how many people was like, no, celebrities are role model. And I'm like,
And how
what are
lucky
y'all
you are.
doing? Yeah. I was just like,
You're kinda
oh. And now I obviously understand it a ton more. But then it was the first time it ever like clicked a little bit. Like, oh, this is having a dad is different.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Why do you think they push athletes to be role models for the
Because in
youth?
the limelight.
Because it's black sports.
Well, I
think.
don't think it's just because it's black sports. I think because they're in the limelight. You're reaching a bunch of people. So if you're somebody that's reaching multi-millions of people, like LeBron James, right? LeBron James is probably the biggest athlete in the world, right? He's reaching so many people.
Not.
No, you're not. Somebody in soccer.
It'd be
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo, Messi. They're bigger.
Okay,
Way bigger.
I guess let's use America, I guess, right?
Soccer is a different animal.
But in America, the soccer is not really that big, right? So LeBron James out here reaches way more kids than the average athlete. If he was out here being an asshole doing drugs, there's a good chance that people might look up to LeBron and be like, oh, he's influencing the kids because he's reaching out. It's like how they saw music was. Like, oh, you listen to rap music, it's the influence. This was killing the people. It's why people want to be killers because of rap music. It's just like
and that to me that goes to my point. I listened to all that, but I still had this dude, so that didn't bother me.
Because my that was the same thing. It was like my fear was when I was growing up, when I was listening to like gangster rap and stuff like that, was like, yo, it's dope, and I would say all this shit, but I'll kill it, I'll bust a nigga head, and then I go, wait a second, I gotta come back and deal with Gunny Sergeant Baker. That nigga would kill me for doing any of this shit.
And also, my dad would tell me the truth. Like, nigga, I've been around this shit. It's not fun.
Yeah, there's jail, there's consequences, there's all type of stuff.
And because I respected him so much, I was like, I think I know he knows what he's talking about. So so I just think
I think it's really just ticket sales.
I think it could be part of both. I think that's a great point to bring up though, for sure.
Yeah.
From their side, it's just like we make millions. He brings us in millions, possibly billions. And if he's going this way, this like, oh, we're not going to bring this guy. Especially some parents. I mean, I probably wouldn't care that much, but it's like I would understand. I would tell my child, hey, look at him as a basketball player. All this other shit, like.
It is. I think it is an influence there though, because like because they had a big thing about like touchdown dances and celebrations and shit. If you just like if you're overdoing it, and then your kids are kind of absorbing that information, they're trying to replicate it, and now they're doing that at their games and shit, and they haven't earned that valor.
And I'm not denying that they do have influence.
Yeah.
I guess the point I was making though, but if you have a dad in the home, that influence don't matter.
Right.
My dad, if I go imitate some shit I saw, my dad immediately, hey nigga, cut that shit out. And I'm like,
but a lot of people don't have their fathers.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying
Well,
my whole point is the importance of a father in the house.
Yeah.
Well, some people have their fathers, and sometimes their father might be too on a certain way, and then they might still do things because it's like, I don't like this nigga. I don't fuck with
That's
this
true too.
That's
It's
true,
like,
too.
dad, say whatever, but you're not LeBron James, dad. Like, let's be honest.
On some real shit.
Like, let's be honest. Like,
But
you're
what
a
kind of
carpenter.
relationship do you have where you think like that?
You said what?
What kind of relationship do you have where you think like
I don't
that?
think you outwardly say it, but you internally you're like, yeah, of course you're gonna say dad shit.
Or
you're
two-
not cool. You are not
Exactly.
cool,
That's
dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, period.
Exactly. To me, you may look at your dad as corny. Just especially I didn't not say never, but I rarely saw that with black parents. But when I did see it when it came to white parents, where they looked at their dad like, this nigga's a loser to me.
Yeah.
And it was just
I
like,
mean, have you seen them?
Huh?
Their outfits, their
Come on, son. They're like, oh, my
Yeah.
dad's corny as hell, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like they look at another player or just somebody like another person that's a man that's more cool, like Tony Hawk and them skaters and shit like that. They were just
Yeah.
like, yo, this is like more of an influence than my dad. I want to be like this guy rather than my dad. But my dad's a loser in my eyes. So it's I can't just say
that's
not
fair.
necessarily a loser, but he's not
cool.
He's not. Yeah, he's not like fucking otherworldly.
Yeah.
He's just a regular guy.
Right.
We're talking
fair.
about peak human physique,
Yeah.
peak
Yeah.
fucking like superhuman
Ken
level.
Griffey turned that hat backwards, and kids was like,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
what? Backwards, man. You know what I mean?
yeah, because there was still some influence that I'm sure that you probably had from other people
For sure.
that wasn't your dad, of course, right?
Oh, absolutely. But it should never to the point where I'm like, this is, you pick up little things.
Yeah.
But never to the point where I'm like, this is who I gotta be.
Like
And if I
swagger
did
and
go
stuff
too
like that.
far,
Yeah.
he's course correcting that every time.
Right. So if
So
you
it's
play,
like-
like, you was a baseball guy at first, right? So
Yeah.
it was like, yeah, you're gonna watch Ken Griffey probably pick up some of his swagger in a sense,
Right.
From the baseball.
Like I tried to do the little shifty thing. I was striking out. Then nigga, enough. Enough.
Go back
nigga.
to the technique,
Yeah.
the regular.
Hey, what if LeBron was on a live stream and just like unalive somebody on a live, just like shot a nigga in the head on a live
That'd be
stream?
crazy.
Would there be an uptick in the murder rate?
I know. Hey, I know.
When
a
niggas be like, oh, we murdering niggas
hey,
now.
I know a nigga that love LeBron so much. He might do some wild
Maybe,
shit,
bro.
man.
Maybe. That one grown ass nigga cried when he met him. So who knows?
Yeah,
Because you
that's so
look at
crazy.
this, you look at how these rappers, if you use rappers for example, how they favorite rappers like drink lean, like whether it's Future or all these guys were like doing drugs and drinking stuff on camera, right?
Yeah.
And these kids started to do like, I want to double cup it. They want to do
Yeah.
that stuff now, and it's just like the shit is, to me, the shit is
It's
corny.
wild. Like if Drake shot somebody, what would his streams? How
No,
How
that
would
would
his
have
streams-
that would have an opposite effect.
you think so? You think his streams
would
would go down?
People would think he tried too hard and
He's
he
trying to-
got broken.
Oh,
he got
now
proved.
he's
they're
still
like, this
corny.
nigga- this nigga ruined his life trying to be a like he was still
He's still
catching,
corny,
bro.
he's still
yeah,
corny.
He was still catching. If
He
he did
strangled
it,
somebody to death. He's still corny.
if he did it, people would say he got pushed to do it and he can't think for
It's
himself.
not real.
and it's
Yeah.
not, you know
But for
what I
an,
mean?
That's
example,
crazy.
for an example, for what you're saying, like, and I guess not necessarily on live stream, but when you're hearing about some of these other rappers, like the drill rappers that have killed their ops for real,
Mm-hmm.
like you've seen these young guys, these young other rappers, or these young kids try to act like them. When they're like gang and all that stuff like that, they want to slide on somebody on the ops and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that because of their rappers did go to jail for killing somebody.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting that, you know, and maybe those kids don't have parents. I don't know. Or
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
a father. It's
Yeah, my whole point is the influence of a father. Because I think about my kids and how much they look to me for everything.
Do you think it's because of a fear thing though?
No, my kids think I'm
Cool.
Yeah, they.
Cause mine came
surprisingly.
from fear. I'll say that.
Mine was from fear.
I wasn't looking at my dad like I wouldn't say my dad was swagged out when it came to like getting girls. I saw how he hollered at women.
Yeah.
But like from his style, I wasn't like my dad got this dope style and swagged
No,
out.
no, none
I
of
was
that.
never thinking that. But
And you're not a normal dad.
Yeah, that's true.
You're also not just a regular dad. You don't just change transmissions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
No, my dad, but he just carried mail. But my dad, it was a fear and it was a
well, your dad was a
respect.
mailman?
He was for.
Oh, shit, I
most
didn't
of
know
my life,
that.
me neither.
Yeah, and it was a fear. It was a respect. But you know what else it was too?
Yeah, both. Yep.
I saw how everybody else respected him.
Mm-hmm.
Other kids, it's like, man, your dad, or even how men talk to him. You know what I mean? He was never like. Yeah, I was like, I would roast maybe how he dressed or how he danced or like that I was better than him in sports.
Yeah.
But him as a man,
Yeah.
he was never disrespected.
Yeah, I never questioned that either.
And so I was like, I'm okay with this. Like, you know, and maybe that's what my kids see. Maybe they see how people talk to me, how I'm received, or, you know, the social media following, whatever. And then they have a slight fear just because I'm just not fucking around.
Even when my dad lost a fight, I still didn't lose respect for him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I think that's what it was too. It was like my dad was kind of like I think I said this before, but he's kind of like a community father. So
Yeah.
a lot of my friends would come to the crib.
I mean, you taking niggas fishing,
yeah,
Crazy.
camping, you know what I mean?
Crazy.
So people would come over there and my dad would tell stories or say something, and we'd be like, "Hey, don't do this because of this." They wouldn't be sitting there, man, fuck your pops. They'd be like, "Hey, man, your dad kind of helped me. Your dad kind of saved me. Your dad kind of like put some."
Did they have fathers?
And some of them had dads.
Yeah.
Some of them had dads. Some of them didn't. Like two of my closest friends, like their fathers passed away early, so it wasn't like their dads.
Oh,
left.
okay.
But so it's like, you know, but they had uncles.
Yeah.
So one of his uncles was an influence for sure. But you know, he would come over my house more than he was around with his uncles. So when he was around at my crib, my dad would say something. He looked at us too like we were good kids. He was just like, all right, man, I like how Keenan's dad always cooks for us, looks out for us, makes sure we got food. He looks at me like a son, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you can receive a message more from someone else who's
That-
like
oh,
more of a
absolutely,
father
for sure.
figure.
Nigga,
than
we're in
your
relationships, we
actual
know
father.
that.
You said what?
I said we're in relationships. We know that.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just different. It's different.
Yeah, the influence from other things have never went so far to where they influenced my life to make me do some bad shit. I'll say that. Like, my influence always came back to, like, I was more afraid of my dad than any nigga on the street.
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
So that's where my thing came from, when it came from, like, influence, in the sense of, like, whether it was a rapper or an older gentleman on the street, or even like just an older homie that might have been 2 years older, being like, we should do this. I even though I did some bad shit here and there, I always weighed the consequences, like, all right, I can take that. But like when it came to like shit that we about to do some real gangster crazy shit, I was just like, yeah, my dad gonna kill somebody.
Maybe that is the difference between having a father and having a father around and not having a father around. Because when you talk about weighing the consequences, I never entered into a situation thinking that I would get caught. I was like, oh yeah, I won't get caught doing this. I won't get caught. Yeah. I never thought I would get caught.
I never once cared about getting in trouble at school. Ever. When they ever said, we're going to call your nigga.
Yep.
Every choice I ever made, I'm piggybacking off Keenan, was, what is Keith Poley going to do? Like, that was, if I fight a nigga on the street, I just got to see him. I got to see this nigga every day.
Yeah.
Every day. And he's in charge. He paid my bill. He paid, like, the fear of dealing with him was way bigger than anybody on the street, any principal, any school teacher, any friend, I'm like, and my dad wasn't dumb.
Yeah.
And so my dad, because he delivered mail, he knew when report cards came. Like, my dad was in tune with kid shit. Yeah. Because he was talking to the kids. He coached all the time. So it ain't like when I would hear people getting over on their parents, I'm like, how y'all doing this? Yeah. This nigga knows everything. Like, he knows the routes of the buses. Like, even when I was trying to sneak to my girl house one time, he's like, that bus get off right there. I'm at this time. I know when you're going to be like, so it was just like, I was always amazed at how dumb people's parents were. Yeah, like how much they didn't know what was going on in their kids'
or
life.
Naive. Yeah,
I was like, "What?
You got to come from something."
My dad was in our shit, bro. Like, he knew everything.
Yeah, I didn't. For me, I didn't fear my mom like that. The only reason why I feared my mom was depending on the level of shit that we did, and which if she would tell my dad. Yep. So it was like that's why I feared my mom, because she would tell my dad about some shit. But if it was something small that I knew she wouldn't tell my dad, I'd be like, oh, could you just call my mom? Like I would defer to them calling my mom instead, because my mom was still trying to discipline us. Yeah. And she would cuss us out, yell at us, and even hit us or whatever. But it was like one of those things where it's just like, oh, cool.
Man, I used to hate when we got a note home from school or something, and she'll look at it, and I'm hoping she just look at it. And she was like, okay, well, and then put it on my dad's dresser. Nigga, I'm stressed for the next 6 hours, nigga. I'm like, why'd you have to, like, just, why can't you just why you got to tell him, bro? Like,
why you got to defer to a man, mom? Go feminism.
The patriarchy, mom, the patriarchy, like.
Bro, I remember one time my dad, and he was just working so much, so he wasn't thinking about report cards, but he had married this lady who was a principal. And bro, I remember I hid my report card for like damn near the whole school year. Yeah. And then I was able to go outside, play, do all this stuff, like having a good time. And I was getting, my grades weren't that good. And then I remember she was like, James, how many report cards have you seen from Keenan? Oh, she ratted me out, and he was like, matter of fact, I haven't been seeing no report cards. Keenan, give me all the report cards from the past XYZ. And I was like, and I had threw them bitches away.
So how come you don't have a fear of your dad in that arena to where, like, I got to get good grades? Because I had a fear that I had to get good grades.
Here's the thing. Gary, I was trying.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
I was trying and I still got bad grades.
Okay.
It was hard, nigga.
Yeah, you wasn't blowing it off. You ain't a school nigga, bro.
Okay, I wasn't. My attendance was perfect. When it wasn't like Keenan skips class. It was like Keenan either talks too much or like I'm trying to just like for particularly like in math. Like I was just struggling in math. Like I just couldn't get right in math. So it was like I would try to hide that when I got a D or an F in there. Yeah. Or I got a U for talking too much, like for unsatisfactory. Whatever. So it was like I would have like I would get like an A and a U.
How are you in like English and language arts?
Those are like I would say that and creative spaces were my strongest suits.
Nice. They say men are better in math and women are better in like language arts.
I was the opposite.
Really?
Yeah.
I never got an F in anything before ever. Yeah. I got a D in algebra 2. And I got a pass because I took that shit twice and still, nigga, I just couldn't. Damn. Algebra 2 was just not. Every other math, I was
Damn.
fine. Algebra 2, I was like, nigga. And I think it was the teacher.
Well-
Because I took stats after that and took it in college and killed that shit.
Sounds like Coach hating on me.
Well, if I took it twice with her, and didn't do well, then go take these maths in college and do well, I'm like, well, you're the outlying.
Your brain
if you're
is
doing
also a little more developed.
well, but if you're doing a controlled study, and only one thing is not like all the others, it has to be that thing. That's a controlled study.
I would say also
that doesn't make any sense.
Not
Every other class does well. Every other teacher does. That's the only thing I ever
teacher
did.
has an effect.
That's logically that's the only thing that makes sense.
It would all depend on the class as a whole. Like when I brought up before that one of my professors failed the whole class like 3 times in a row. And if everybody's failing, if the whole class is failing, then I'll be like, all right, there's something wrong with the teacher.
It had to be the whole class.
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
if it's just you, it could still be
I
a
only
thing.
took it twice because that's not good enough for like I passed the class.
Gotcha.
My mom and dad was like, you got to take. So a lot of people in that class struggled.
Okay.
But it was our house rule. Like, no, you can't have this. You have to take it again because it's not gonna transfer or whatever, all that good shit. But then when I got to college, our teacher knew how to work everybody's likes. So when I took stats, she let all the athletes do their homework and projects on compare all the analytics they do in ESPN. We did that then. And then the people who liked whatever else, I like flowers where you find that she let everybody do to work
Their
these
strong
math
suit,
equations, their
yeah.
strong. So I
To
think my
make it
final
a-
was Kobe versus Iverson, and then the breakdowns
Yeah.
of everything. I'm all in. You know what I
Analyze
mean?
it in a way
Yeah,
that you can easily
I'm all, and
understand
she was
it.
she's a good teacher. You know what I mean?
I would say that would make her a good teacher, but that's also not necessarily just teaching because you it's hard for one teacher to individualize.
It was also hard to relate
Well,
math to real life circumstances,
So
which is why people be like, fuck math.
All she said was, as long as you're following these things, you're doing the math. I don't care how you do it.
Yeah.
So that's why my final was that, because there were certain we had to hit like 5 criterias. If you do these 5, I did it all within
So
these
she
things.
gave you a whole completely different test? What you saying? Or
No, our final project.
okay,
it was
you
a whole-
do your own thing. You find
Yeah,
out.
not the test. Sorry,
okay,
not the
okay.
test.
Okay.
Our final project was
Got you.
analyzing these things, breaking down these numbers, and everybody did whatever they liked, they were into, and everybody did well in the class because she was like, I want you to learn these numbers, but however you like learning these numbers and equations.
Yeah.
And so I was like, she's a good ass teacher because I was all in that class. Like I really was like breaking down their averages by year per year, how many minutes they play, like all the dumb analytic shit.
Yeah. But generally speaking, you feel like you're bad at math.
Now that I know people who are really bad at math, no. I thought because I did that one class bad, that I was like, maybe math ain't for me. And then in general, I was like, oh no, I was just that one class because y'all really are bad at math.
Because that was me in geometry. I took geometry 3 times.
Damn.
I took it in 10th grade. I took it in summer school. Well, I took it in 10th grade. I took it in one summer school. I took it in 11th grade. And I took it in summer school again. So that's 4 times.
That's what all the angles.
Yeah. So when you start doing that, that's where it got tough to me. But then also too, I would say for me, how my process was when it came to math, it was one of those things like, bro, when I didn't get it, I just started to not just lose interest. My confidence drop. So it was just like I'm stupid. That's how I started to feel in that class. It's like I don't get how come I still don't get
The arms start forming. You felt one more class, nigga, it's gonna be.
the arm and the bite.
Oh, dog.
One
Like,
more dog
look,
is gonna
he
stay.
write, and all of a sudden he just see drool. He's like, what the fuck?
Oh,
Why is my paper wet?
not like this.
Not like, the moon changes to full moon, and then, instead of a howl, you just hear.
His backpack gets bigger. The bus slowly starts pulling up.
The bus shrinks. The bus starts getting smaller.
Hey man, that was brilliant, nigga. That was
The shoes untied.
oh shit. They
Turn
turned
the
the
Velcro.
Yep. Oh shit.
He just transforms.
Bro,
All of a sudden he looks up. He's in a different class. Like, how did I get here?
It's like a holding hands, walking through passing period with somebody in the line. Oh,
shit.
man.
Hey man,
And that's hella funny.
bro, I give it to you. That's
That's a
fucking,
nightmare, man.
Can you imagine being a retarded werewolf?
Like not knowing?
Like that's your thing?
Like slowly.
Like every full moon you go
Yeah.
full.
Oh,
oh
man.
man, that is insane. But that's how I was feeling, man. When it came to math, I don't know what everything else. And then I guess too, I would say too, and he probably wouldn't agree to this, but when I go to my brother and he's trying to help me out, and he's calling me a fucking idiot, you know, trying to learn this stuff. He's like, it's basic, nigga. Nigga should have learned this shit in the fucking 4th grade, stupid ass nigga. And you're just like, and you're in the 8th grade.
That's kind of and that's kind of messed up too. If you got your report card back and like your dad is on your ass about your math grade, and you just like, Dad, I'm trying my best. Like, don't come down on me, bro. I'm really trying.
Here's what made it crazier and why I would get upset, but I couldn't express myself. He couldn't do it either.
Oh yeah.
So it was like I was like one thing I said about my dad, like he struggled from an educational standpoint, and then I found out later on that I think I said this before that he I think he had a learning disability, having dyslexia. But like, you know, when somebody's on you and they can't do the work, I was saying stuff here and there, but like I said, my brother was an asshole. He'd be like, "Nigga, you do it then. Yeah. You show me how to do it."
Yeah.
And my brother be like, my dad be like, "Nigga, that's what school is for, nigga. What you going to me for?" And it was just like, you know, that they were having a back and forth about that.
Yeah.
But it was like that was the energy. Was just like, I had one person that would come to, and they would essentially not try to teach me. They would be like, you know, it's the loudness of like, if 2 + 2.
It's getting louder and louder.
Yeah, you're not showing me how you got here. You did it yourself. See, you see how I did it. It's just like, but how'd you get from here to here, nigga? I don't even comprehend that. Yeah.
Which is crazy if your parents immigrated here and they don't speak any English at all. Like how hard that school journey is for a kid. Like my parents don't speak any English.
Right. And then I will say too, I'll speak for even right now, right? When it comes to some niggas know how to just add really quickly or just do things really quickly in their head when it comes to like numbers and stuff like that. And it's like sometimes if I don't get it quick, I'll be like, hold on. And so I get a little bit insecure.
Start feeling the pressure?
Yeah, feeling the pressure. Like, and I'm like, wait, not to say, like, give me a second, nigga. Like, let me look on my calculator real quick and put the numbers in. But it's like some people can, like, my brother he can just hear the numbers, be like, oh, it's this, is that. That's what the answer is. And so even sometimes when it came to, like, doing some stuff, when it came to, like, selling things, I was just like, you know, I think we started adding, like, you know, the taxes on our stuff. Yeah. Because we were just like, yo, I ain't about to be paying for the shit out of pocket. And so now the numbers are different. So now when I'm putting the numbers in and seeing how much it's supposed to be, I'm like, well, hold on real quick. It's going to be, just give me a second. Yeah. And so, I started to feel the pressure. And now I feel like, you know, I'm dumb and I'm not dumb. I know I'm
you're not dumb. Yeah. Keenan, you're not dumb. You're not dumb, Keenan.
This nigga just called me a whole retard. What are you talking about, bro? You just said I turned into a werewolf retard. You're not dumb.
What would we call it? A weretard?
A weretard.
A weretard.
A weretard and a leotard.
Oh man.
My dad used to do that too, but the difference was this nigga, like we would in our head we would laugh, but he had that safety net of my mom, right? So he'd be like, y'all need to do the blah blah blah. And we'd be like, let's see your grades. He'd be like, don't worry about that. But he'd bring out my mom's report cards, which is straight A's, right? Yeah. He'd be like, see, your mother, what about you? You the one on this stuff. Yeah. And he like, no, don't worry about what I did. I was a fuck off. You know, don't worry about. And even then I understood, like, you know, do as I say, not as I do. Don't be like me. I'm trying to make you better than me.
It's hard. It's hard to comprehend, though. That's something that's hard to. Like, you are the authoritative figure over me, but don't be like you. Wait.
Yeah. I'm trying to make you better. But that's I think one thing I took from my dad is just being very communicative with my kids. Like, what do you know why? And they know this from little. Now they can just regurgitate it. I'm like, why am I doing this? So we can be better. Yeah. Like they know the answer. They know, like, anything I ever do is just to make you better than me, better than your uncles, better than any dude you see on the street. I want you to just be the best. So this is what this is for. Even if I didn't do it, you know, this is what this is for. So they get it. They understand it. And now they're MMA coach because they're about to start fighting, like
actual fighting, sparring.
Yeah, like, well, they've been sparring stuff,
tournaments. They're gonna enter
tournaments and shit.
Yeah.
So the coach texted me. He was like, "Hey man, you know, I would just love your feedback," because he snapped on Kendrick. He was like, "Was I too hard?" I said, "You talking to a college athlete?" I'm like, "No." Yeah. I was like, "In fact, I would love for you to do more. That way, I could just be the nice guy. That'd be great." Yeah. And so I told them both. I said, "Yo, your coach about to turn it up." And don't look at me during the class. I'm not in charge. I'm not, because they do is he looking? I'm like, I'm not in charge, bro.
Yeah.
You gotta talk to him.
And then also like, what you think I'm gonna do?
Yeah, what you like?
This nigga got hands.
Yeah, like
They gonna beat my ass.
I'm not getting beat up for you because you didn't do your drills, nigga. What the fuck?
But that's respect though, right? In a sense, I know you're a dad coach, but it's one of those things like as somebody that's as a parent, when you're watching the coach, it's like the coach when your players in that realm is like, this is my world.
Yeah,
as a parent, it's kind of like step back, nigga. Let me do my job in a sense, right?
I said, do your thing, bro. And I told him, I said, Coach, I said, you guys are at an age too, Keelan. You almost 10. You at an age now where everything ain't gonna be. You might get cussed at. You might get yelled at. Like it's coming. So all I want to hear from y'all is yes, coach, and y'all just do whatever it is. We can talk about it later, but don't look at me. I'm not in this. I don't know this world, because he snapped because Kendrick made an excuse about something. He was like, I don't care, bro. Like, I don't care. You can't be crying if you can. And so he on him, and I'm like, yeah. But also, me being me, I'm like, he's correct. What are you gonna do if you get frustrated because somebody hit you and your lip is bleeding and now you're mad and you're swinging wild? Yeah, like you have to stay composed, because Kendrick's whole thing is composure. Yeah, his is not. Once he gets mad, nigga, it's a free for all. Keelan is actually kind of killing it. He just has bad habits that he needs to correct. But Kendrick's whole thing, this nigga looks like Floyd Mayweather / John Jones when he's composed. If he got hit,
so it's a fight.
He lost it.
Yeah.
And he's like, you got to stay composed. He's like, but my lip is, I don't care. And I'm like, tell him. Like, get on him. Like, I don't care.
How does Cotty respond?
He's like, my lips wasn't so big.
Cotty is,
I don't have fighter lips, Dad.
You ain't black, coach. You know what I mean? Nah, Cotty is very, Cotty has understood she's raising 2 boys, and there's a father in the home, and there's male coach. She kind of.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like,
y'all got it.
What a sigh of relief, like, to have kids come out and their father's there. Like, to have to explain that to like a single mom. It's just like, it's not like men are the best communicators with women, and then you also have you throw the kid into the fold, and now I'm like trying to communicate with you on behalf of your nigga. It's like, bro, you don't get it, lady. Like, you're not gonna get it.
Oh, you're talking about relief for the coach?
Yeah, it's like a relief for the coach. Know that he's talking to a dad.
And I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, bro. But trying to explain that to a mom, like, are you okay with the way that I talk to your son? She's because like, I would prefer you not to yell at my. You know.
I saw this video. It was like a black student, and they were like probably like around Keelan's age. And the kid, he couldn't get a drill right, so he said, "Go take a lap. Get your ass, take a lap right now." And then the comment section. And the father was there. He was just like, he did the same thing. He looked at the dad. He was like, nigga told you to take a lap, nigga.
Yeah, right.
And so the women in the comment section, oh my gosh, bro. They were just like, see, I'm taking my son out that class. I couldn't have done this. No. Don't be talking to my baby this way. What you mean he got to take a lap? And it's just like, y'all.
Take a step back.
With the emotion.
It's like, I just couldn't deal with this. And it's like, I'm glad I'm just watching this on video. And then some women understood it's like, it would have hurt me to watch this, but I understand that my son might need this. Yeah. Especially the ones that didn't have a father in his life. It's like, he needs that because he doesn't have his father. So I would have been internally crying like, nigga. Yeah. But she was like, he needs that. But a lot of women were on the other side of just like, well, he ain't coming back to this class anymore.
I think Cotty probably likes it because she gets the luxury of being sweet all the time.
Get to hug mom.
You know what I mean? Like, if dad is on him and coaches are on him, when she gets to be like, okay, well, let's get ice cream, or let's, so she probably enjoys it.
It's a good dynamic to have.
Yeah, and I think for her, without having a dad and all that stuff, I think she likes seeing me do it too as well. Like, it's just we got the couch and everything, so I'm showing them the drill and everything. And I see her watching, and I know for her, she's probably like, this is great.
That's how I am with myself. Like, seeing myself father.
I'm
like, look at me father.
I'm nice at this.
I get it, bro. I get it.
I'm killing it, nigga.
I get it, man.
Do you think that's why a lot of players and athletes, they thank their mom because they are on that sweeter side?
Probably so.
I think that's just an inherent thing that people do, though, just to.
Because I feel like daughters and sons do it.
Yeah, but I think they might feel that the mom needs it more. Like, look how big of a deal.
That's her reward. Yeah.
Look how big of a deal Mother's Day is versus Father's Day. And look at, and women express that. No, I want the acknowledgement. Like, my dad he told me, like, if you ever get a award for anything, nigga, give me my props. Because he's like, I did the work. Like, I did. He was like, because we were watching an award and everybody God, my mama, God, my mama, God, my mama. And he was like, hey, man, if you ever, like, he just got tired of seeing it.
Yeah.
Like, where is the acknowledgement for dads?
Yeah.
And I think with a lot of athletes, too, the dad, if he was present, is kind of a given. And maybe that's why, like, Steph Curry ain't going to think. We all know his, you know what I mean? Like, that's where you got it from. Your, if you have a dad that was an athlete, well, of course just now, Ron Harper. So his kids, he got 2 kids in the league. And everybody was praising their mom because she did coach and everything. But everybody was kind of like, Ron don't need the. We know where the genetics came from.
I wasn't feeling that shit.
We know where, you know, Ron.
I feel like just
I wasn't feeling that shit at all. He got 0 props. It wasn't like he got.
He did after the whole dust up.
But
everybody praised the mom.
Okay. Yeah,
and it was like Ron Harper's a 5-time champion. He was
it's up to the kid.
Yeah.
But
the kids didn't do anything. It was the media,
the way they took
it.
Man, fuck the media.
Yeah.
Well, I was saying even from the Sun
Smack
standpoint.
the shit out the media.
But I wasn't seeing the son even say anything. He wasn't even saying thanks to my mom and my dad. When I was seeing it, he was just saying, yeah, my mom, blah blah blah. I was like, I felt the way. It was just like, dog, like all this is mainly because of genetically you're here because of your dad. Yeah. Because your mom is about like 5'4", it looks like, bro. You wouldn't have made it here.
Yeah, but does that also speak to his presence? We don't know the inner workings of their relationship.
Yeah, and that's what I said when they were showing.
Yeah.
When they were showing the videos, I saw the mom was coaching. The mom she was all in.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, she was all in.
Oh, okay.
So
she's a D1 coach, right?
It could have been.
That's crazy.
The mom might have been more. Ron might have been there, just being like, "Hey, bro, this is how you get to the league."
Yeah.
And she carried out the drills. She carried out, and he's gone. Like I just seen the thing with Shaq and what's his oldest? Sharif. Talking about how Shaq wasn't really there like that. This nigga was on the road. He was gone. He was doing everything. And Shaq was basically saying he kind of don't want Sharif to hoop. He was like, unless you're willing to have those sacrifices, like to not raise your kids like that, to not be around. Like
that's crazy.
Like with other people, they were always in. Steph was always in the locker room. He went everywhere with his dad. They were always with him. So it's kind of like.
Well, that's the thing. I think that's you can. Shaq could have did it a different way. He probably didn't understand it at that time. Yeah. But Shaq was the guy.
And Shaq didn't
want
to run.
I think Shaq also thinks about sacrificing his family too.
Right.
Like,
but
Shaq marriage him because of it.
Shaq was partying. He was cheating. He was doing all kind of shit. So of course you don't want your kids around. You wilding.
Right. Yeah. So if that's me, if I have the money and the means, if I can travel with my family, and especially if you love your family, right, I would want them to come with me to a lot of these places. You know what I'm saying? Like, these tickets ain't shit anyways. All right.
And it kind of keeps you grounded.
And it keeps you grounded.
But I don't think he wanted to be grounded though.
Yeah, he don't want to be grounded. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I just know for me as a future parent, I want you're going to do.
Wait, was that a announcement?
No.
Oh, okay.
I would most likely tell y'all before the cameras are on that I'm like, yeah. But I also too wouldn't say anything until Janelle is probably months along.
Right.
I don't want to risk the whole 1 month pregnancy, 2 month pregnancy thing, and then she lose it.
And that's why a lot of people don't tell.
Yeah, I'd rather her.
I tell them right after I nut in there, like, yep, baby coming. I'm letting y'all know.
Yeah.
That was the one.
But I want my acknowledgement. I ain't with that shit. Like I want for
really?
I want Father's Day. I want you to.
Why?
Because it's like I feel like I feel like the children do kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? They don't
recognize the day.
It's a different word for it, but essentially like they don't. The father doesn't get a lot of recognition, but it's not that word. I'm thinking of something else. It's like
praise.
They get looked at as less than. And it's not the word, but
less than's a math word actually.
You learned something.
Less than and equal to. All right, okay,
yeah, right.
But I like the math coming out.
He doesn't get a lot of respect in that sense. Where when it comes to like it's like you're gonna.
So you just don't like how dads are shit on in general.
I don't like that because even when I started to look back at I apologized to my dad about that. When I got started to get older, I was like, Dad, I want to apologize for us because. On our end, it sucked because my mom, when she had left, she wasn't necessarily helping out on no other end, right? Yeah. So when it came to Father's Day and my dad's birthday, we had to buy my dad's presents with his money because we didn't have money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And when I got older, it's like, all right, we were too young to do that, but I understand it. But as I got older, I was like, we should have done a lot more for you because at the end of the day, you took the sacrifice to raise us, even though you had your struggles. You did a lot to raise us, and you sacrificed a lot, and you still made a lot of things happen that didn't have to happen for us, like as a single father. And I'm just like, I should have acknowledged you, and I'm sorry for that. And so I just felt like as a parent, I was just like, bro, that's that. And I looked at him, I was just like, that shit sucks. And I always go back to my brother's graduation, and I said that before. It's just like, when I saw my dad's face, I was just like, I never wanted him to feel like that ever again. And as a parent, as a father,
Wait.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Back up, yeah.
I thought I said it before about my brother's graduation. I thought I said it on here.
No, what happened at his graduation?
So when my brother got his bachelor's degree,
He thanked his mom.
yeah, he thanked my mom, right?
Oh.
So especially during Black grad. So this is Black grad is huge, and as Black grad, you get kind of a moment. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how you guys. I know you guys kind of went to more PWIs, but like at a lot of these schools, they have a Black graduation where it's just the Black students, and a lot of times you get a chance to say something for like a quick, like 30 seconds or whatever.
He thanked your mom?
So he went on stage and he was like, "Mom, I did it. Mama, I made it." Did the whole Jay-Z "Mama, I made it" thing. Did this whole grand thing. My mom's sitting there. "That's my baby. I did this. He because of me." She's going. She's taking.
Wow.
My mom's taking the credit. That's what mom's going to do.
That's why you want the recognition.
Well, and so I'm watching this, and so it's me. I think it's me, Ricky. I think my grandma was there, and that's my dad's mom.
Yeah.
And I think my aunt Barbara might have been there also, right? That's my dad's sister.
And y'all all sitting together.
And we all sitting together.
And he's on the microphone.
And my mom, he's doing all this thing, dances like, "Mom, you know."
And not no acknowledgement of your dad?
Huh?
No acknowledgement of your dad?
He might have said it, you know. He might have gave like a little. And my dad, man, I love you, pops, but
Okay.
you know, Mom, I did this for you. And I'm
Well, that's different. That's different.
That's different.
That's different.
No, it wasn't different because afterwards, when we talked about it, well, I'll say this. I'll get to this
It's
first.
an emotional moment.
I'll say this. So going through all that, me and Ricky are looking at each other, and Ricky's just like, Ricky's feeling like embarrassment. He's feeling secondhand embarrassment from my dad. And even my dad's kind of like, because he's not acknowledging my dad at all at first. And my dad's sitting there like damn. And he's like, yeah, it's kind of like, and dad, and back to mom. And it's like, so it wasn't like an acknowledgement of like, oh, it's whatever. It was just like my dad. You knew he felt it because his emotion was like, it was like.
Yeah.
So you saying the acknowledgement was like 90% mom
It was
and 10% dad?
9% mom.
Okay.
1%.
And in real life,
it was
if
the
being
other way.
raised, that was not the ratio.
It was the other way around.
Oh,
And so it
shit.
was like,
Did y'all talk to him about it?
oh, for sure. So like, you know, afterwards, you know, he was having that moment with my mom, and he's going, "I did it, Mom." You know, it's like, it just sounded like some NBA shit, like shit, right? And so me and Ricky, because Ricky felt like super uncomfortable. He was like, "Bro, this is kind of bothering me a little bit. We got to talk to this thing."
He was mad.
He was kind of probably more mad than I was.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Hey, Corey, we got to talk to you, bro. Like XYZ," and he was like, "Oh shit!" He's like, "Damn, I didn't realize it was that kind of
Caught up
heavy."
in the moment. Yeah.
And he was caught up in the moment. He was just like, he's like, "Damn," he's like, "I feel like shit." I was like, what made it worse for me was Dad's energy and facial expression.
Yeah.
He sunk in his seat,
Damn.
and he was just kind of like, "Damn," like it was like I wasn't even here for this nigga.
Yeah.
And I know we had our trials and tribulations because that's when stuff happened.
And then in front of everybody.
Was they having was there tension before, like right before? Was they on good terms? It was cool.
No, because we was like standing at like we was at Corey's house. We was having jokes and
Yeah, okay,
laughing. Me and
okay.
Corey had a little boxing match that we actually filmed too. My dad was kind of cracking jokes. We was laughing at that shit.
I wouldn't even put that on Corey. I think that's actually like a good like psychological case study. And like maybe this was his effort of like praising his mother, praising your mom towards like sobriety or some shit.
Well, no, here's the thing. I would agree to that somewhat, right? I think what you're saying is because
I think it's subconscious, clearly, because he was like, "Oh, I didn't even realize that I did that."
There's things that I can't get to on camera, but there's things where when I started to see that, I was like, okay, that makes more sense now, right? But still, in that moment, like watching your dad, who you never see get like that ever,
Yeah.
that's when you go like, damn.
Yeah.
So for me, I was just like. I think about the Bill Cosby joke too. The Bill Cosby joke about how like, you know, you do all this stuff. You be like, "Mama, thank you for everything." So I'm like, nigga, what? So I was just like, bro,
also,
you're going to acknowledge.
So what did your brother say after? Like after
I think he ended up apologizing to my dad about it. It was like, yo, like I didn't even like. And my dad kind of took it in a sense of where he was just like, okay, cool. It's you know, don't worry about the son. You know, I understand. You know, your mom's not around that much, so you want to give her the acknowledgement.
Yeah.
So I'll take that on the chin, but in the moment, of course, it felt
hurt.
away. Yeah.
But then the garage opens like, "See, I got you this new car, Dad. I didn't forget about you." It's like, "Oh, okay, cool."
That didn't happen for sure.
But my next question would be, because your last name is Baker, so he's kind of early in the announcements for for the for the graduation through the process.
Yeah.
How many moms did he hear before he went up? Was that just ingrained in his head at that point? You know what I mean? Or was it equal?
I think with Black Grad, how they would do it, they would do one from the beginning of the alphabet and then one from the end of the alphabet.
Oh,
they were doing it like that. So then
But he still went early.
How many
Baker's
moms
early.
did he hear? You know what I mean? And he's just like,
I don't think I heard with all those graduations from mothers and from sons and daughters. I don't think I heard really any father acknowledgement.
any fathers?
So now we got the origin story.
Yeah,
Now
sinks
we know.
in, dog.
Yeah, it's all everything got an origin story.
I
Sinks
feel
in.
like I won't deny it. Yeah, for sure. I was like, yo, you're not about to sit here and deny my contribution to your life, your
Right.
lifestyle. You're going to realize your dad did a lot for you. And even in talking to Janelle, I look at Janelle how she loves and respects her dad. I don't think she would even allow that.
Yeah.
You know, Janelle puts a lot of credit on her dad. How her dad would take her to, he does real estate. She'd be like, I love how my dad used to like take me to his job after I get off school, and I'll meet him up there. I could just sit there and watch my dad work and just hear lingo and certain things like that. It's like I used to love being around my dad growing up. My mom was a teacher, so it's like I learned this stuff from my mom as a teacher. But she gives her dad a lot of credit.
Her mom was a teacher?
Yeah, mom was a teacher.
So she'll be helping with the math homework when y'all have kids?
Oh, Janelle's the educator for sure. There's no doubt. I said this, nigga. I said you're going to be the educator of the family. And she's also talking about like
So
probably even
prepare not to get a speech, bro. It was my mom helped me with my homework, and my mom my mom was cleaning up. My mom.
Oh fuck! Oh shit!
You ain't getting no speech, nigga.
Back to square
We
one.
tried. We tried.
Well, you see all this shit that I bought.
I bought all these books.
I bought the book so you could even. I had the roof over your head.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I was still. I think for anybody that was raised by both of their parents, show them both love, man. Because
Yeah,
fathers
equal
don't
love.
get the
That's
acknowledgement
interesting.
about it, you know what I'm saying?
I don't take compliments well. Like, so
I don't
that's why I'm
either.
like, I don't need any record. I don't need any. I know what I do.
But here's the thing, I don't take compliments well either. But I do get sentimental.
Mm-hmm.
I can be very sentimental. So it's like, even though I don't take compliments well, when I am getting one, especially when it's coming from that place like that, I can be like, I might even get like a little teary-eyed or emotional, but like, man, hey man, this is kind of awkward for me, but I fucking appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like as men, we do need that at times because it kind of either keeps us grounded and keeps us emotional. Like we don't become these only hard ass creatures that we don't have any emotion. When your child goes, I'm sure when Keelan goes, Dad, I just love you, man, and thank you for being a great dad. I'm sure you're not gonna be like, all right, whatever, son. You kind of just like,
Oh, that should be making my
Yeah,
day.
it's a.
just go to the bathroom, son. Just go.
No, I don't hide emotion. I just don't. I'm not super receptive to like compliments in a way where I'm like, oh, like I don't know how. Aside from saying like the standard, like, oh, thank you so much. I don't know how to like truly feel it, or truly be in it. Like,
Right.
I don't know how to give you the energy that you gave me with the
Yeah.
compliment.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's
sometimes-
uncomfortable.
Yeah, sometimes you just sit there and you be like, cool,
Yeah.
all right, I appreciate this. And you don't know how to respond. You don't know how to give an answer back.
It's
because you're
weird.
not-
Yeah, it's just
it's
weird.
weird.
Yeah.
You know, like somebody like, you got the most gorgeous eyes I've ever seen.
I get that.
But
a lot.
you know
just
what?
like, and what do you just like?
When I give a compliment
I
like
got
that, though,
so
I don't
much.
expect
Yeah,
nothing
it's
back.
So crazy.
When you give a compliment,
When I give like genuine compliments to people, I don't expect anything back. I just want you to know this.
yeah,
Like I don't need you to be like,
But I think,
oh man, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
I think as
Yeah.
people,
I just
we
want
think,
you. I just want you to know, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
and for me, receiving them, I only care about compliments from certain people. I don't care about the world like that.
It's not that I-
One compliment from Keelan or Cotty or my mom and dad, that'd carry me for
Mm-hmm.
as long as they good. Like I don't.
yeah.
I just
you
care,
know.
I care about it being genuine. It's not about necessarily who it comes
Right.
from. It's
That's-
because it's somebody that doesn't know me that well. Like it's like, when it comes to comedy, it's like somebody will come up to you from a comedy show and they'll say something nice, like that might be sentimental or like you changed something, you made me feel this
Yeah.
type of way. I don't go like I don't care about that. I'll be
No,
like,
it's not that I don't care, but the
I'll be like-
meaning,
The
of
meaning
it,
of it, yeah.
it carries more with people whose opinion and love I value.
What is stock versus what is actually heartfelt
Yeah.
and genuine, you know? Like I told you earlier before the show, I used to go to work and that dude every day, he would see me, he'd be like, the man of the day, dap me up, hug me and all that shit. And I'm like, that's what's up, dog? And then 2 days, like, a month later, I came in early one day and I saw him do the same thing to somebody else. And I was like, this nigga, man.
Like I'm not saying it don't count. Like if somebody says you're my favorite comedian, that means a lot. There's a lot of comedians to choose from.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously that means
How many
a lot.
comedians have you seen? 3?
Yeah. So
You're
just-
the only one.
You don't have.
I know what the people who see me the most, if they are still impressed after seeing me every day, if they still, when Cotty for no reason just be like, man, I just appreciate everything you do. That carries way more weight than, anything else, so those, I receive differently.
Yeah, I guess for me, it just depends on what the compliment is or what it is. So if somebody from the outside world that's not in my family is saying something specific about me that is super genuine, and even if it's emotional, when I would do like my storytelling stuff or whatever, and some people come up to me afterwards and be like, bro, you understand, I wish I could have said whatever you said to your dad or did whatever you did, and I didn't get a chance to. And they're damn near in tears, or some of them were like crying to me. That shit means a hell of a lot, just as much as somebody would say something that's close to me also. It just depends on what the compliment is or what they're saying. To me, that's how I would gauge it more. In a sense of like if it's coming from my son or my wife, and then there's just a stranger. It just depends on actually what the compliment is for me particularly.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Because I remember this lady, the old lady who solidified that, I'm going to do comedy. I'll never forget that compliment. So I guess she came to, it was Tommy T's early, and I'm still in the Bay. So I ain't but 2-3 years into comedy. A super old lady, old black woman. And she said, young man, my husband died, I forgot how many months ago. This is the first time I've been outside the house since his passing. And you made me forget about that. I had a great time. And that was like, oh, this is what I'm here for.
Yeah.
This is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what the compliment was so genuine. And so, so I take back what I said. It matters. It's whoever.
But that's heartfelt. That has more meaning to it. She gave you a backstory.
She gave me a backstory, and she let me know I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Like this.
Right.
Okay, so this is what I'm put on earth to do. Like I'm not, because you always be like, what am I supposed to do in life?
Yeah.
And when she said that, I'm like, oh, this is.
But she didn't warn you though.
She
went like, baby, these clubs gonna be on some bullshit. They're
not gonna pay you from time to time.
People ain't gonna be buying their tickets.
They gonna wait till the last minute, baby.
That shit happened to me on remember I was doing the boats and I was on the ships or whatever, and I thought I told you this before, but this lady and her husband made me break down crying in front of them. They just sat next to me. I was sitting there eating in like one of the good eatery spots on the ship, and they came out and sat with me, and I was just talking to them, and they were just like, she went into a lot of like spiritual stuff with me, to be honest with you, and then she went into some spiritual stuff and about comedy, and but like you are born to do XYZ, and don't let these things break you. And I remember just being like, I broke down crying hard, nigga. I had lobster in front of me, everything, nigga. I cried probably the hardest I cried since like my grandfather had passed, nigga.
Damn.
I cried hard as shit. And I remember the husband was just like, she had this effect on people, man. She just, when she talks to people, for some reason, they just had this type of connection.
So you know what would have been fucked up? An hour later, you would have saw her across the room making somebody else cry.
Same shit about the whole, like, hey,
shit.
man, oh, man, you the man around here. I'm like, oh, you just do this shit.
This is what you do.
But sometimes, too, some of those type of compliments come to you in a time where you might even need it the most. Or
absolutely.
you just, like, you just having whatever part of time in your life, and then they hit you with it. You just like, damn, I kind of needed that. Like, that meant
that push, that reassurance. Yeah, that you're doing the right thing. We all need that from time to time.
Yeah.
See, you're not dumb.
Hey, man. So here's the thing.
Oh, shit.
See, this is what bullying's about right here. The comment section seen it. They've acknowledged it. They told y'all to leave me alone. They said y'all bully me all the time, and I'm gonna agree with them.
Oh,
I'm a good guy. I just sit here and try to just tell my story. And when I'm vulnerable with motherfuckers, this is what happens, man.
next comedy show. Hey, man, I watched the last episode. I'm here for you.
Oh man, we had an hour 9. So
tears make me laugh. I ain't even gonna lie. I think every story you ever told me about you crying, I laughed.
I laugh too, though.
Yeah, should be funny, man.
It's hilarious.
Especially if it's not a sad cry. If it's a cry just like, nigga, I lost control, the shit just be funny. When I tell people I cried when Keelan was born, nigga, they niggas be dying. I was like, I lost it.
Yeah. That's not bad. People,
it's not bad.
It's your firstborn, especially.
They were just like, I get it.
I feel like most people.
I couldn't, but I lost. I couldn't. I was stuttering. I didn't know what was gonna happen. I thought I was gonna watch my kid get born and then be like happy. Nigga, I didn't expect. I've never been in a state where like I cannot stop this. This is happening. I don't know what to do with this.
Hold on, you talking about when Keelan was born? You cried,
Nigga, I didn't cry, nigga.
You like
Sobbed.
bawled.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I fucking
Like when he came out? Or
So
like,
they're going through the process, and you know, her mom's holding her hand. I'm, you know, watching. No, I'm holding her hand. Her mom's at the end, and they're like, "Oh, he's you're almost there. You're almost there." I'm like, "You almost got it. You almost got it." They're like, "We see the head." I looked over and saw his head, nigga.
Okay.
And that was it.
Oh, you just okay.
That was fucking it.
Mm.
Oh my
Personal
god,
plan.
nigga!
Yeah.
I'm talking about. I am bawling.
Really?
Like bawling. So they, you know, they have the baby, they put her on her chest or whatever. That's when my dad comes in, the parents, you know, and my dad's like, "Congratulations!" And I was like, "Hey, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life." And my dad's laughing because he's like, "I get it, man, I get it." But I think he's laughing because no one's seen me be emotional before. So I was like, "It's the most beautiful. He's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life." Blah blah. Cotty is kind of out of it.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
So
for them.
she's looking at me and she's like,
what happened?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
And then after, she was laughing because she was like, "I've been with you. I've never seen you cry ever."
Mm-hmm.
So she was laughing at just the like, "I've never seen you cry before. You're ugly when you cry." Like it was all these things. So everybody was laughing at me because they didn't see it.
Yeah.
And I'm stuttering, drooling, snot, nigga. I mean, I was crying. And just
keep tissue on you, man.
I never.
I had to do a lot of processing.
Oh,
I had
yeah?
to do a lot of I cried, but I had to do a lot of processing because we didn't know what we were having, and it was COVID, so there was nobody in the room. It was just her and I.
Oh.
And I saw the head, and the first thing I saw was the hair. So that fucked me up. I was like, wait. Like my kid has hair,
and I don't.
It was a lot of processing, dog. It was
like in real time or like
in real time. It was a lot of
like what were the steps? What were the?
It was like the kid has hair, and then it came out, and it was like blue, and I was like, "Is the kid dead?"
Yeah,
you know. And then in the moment, it was like the kid is not gonna make it. The moment I thought that, or even like absorb that for a second, it like came flush red with life, and then the mouth opened and it started screaming, and then I was like, okay, the kid's alive, the kid has hair, and then it went down and I saw the umbilical cord, and I was like, that's not, oh, that's the umbilical cord. Like, for a moment, I was like, that's the dick. He was like, oh, that's the umbilical cord. And then I kept going down, and then I saw the penis. I was like, oh, fuck, it's a boy.
I have a son.
And then it was like, done. And then I was done after that. I was like, I got a son. I got to raise a man. And I got to raise a black boy. It was fear.
Oh,
it was jubilance. It was, nigga, it was everything. And then I looked back, and I was like, this white woman ain't going to know what to do with this black boy. And it was like, I was just like, ah.
What was Jess doing?
Nigga, she was out of it, which is fucked up for them, because like we get to really feel the moment, in its purest, and then you know, and then they don't. But yeah, they put them on her or whatever, and I was like, oh, he got big nuts, this got a big penis for like a newborn. I was like, this is crazy.
I know Janelle and I we were thinking about having a like the home birth with the
water birth thing.
Yeah,
we were gonna do that.
She's thinking about that, but I feel like that stuff can also change when things get closer, and it's like,
Did you stop peeing in the tub yet?
You said, "Just stop peeing in the tub."
Yeah.
It won't be in our tub. They've been doing it.
In somebody else's home?
No, I think
they bring in a.
Oh, they bring in a thing.
What's some things called midwife and a doula. What they call them shit?
Yeah,
doulas.
Doulas, and then all that. Cotty wanted to do
they
all
bring
that.
everything there.
Yeah, she wanted to do all that, and then all that shit went out the window.
I figured that might happen also.
Time. But she did do both naturally, which is insane. Mm-hmm. I remember my mom and her mom were like, "What are you trying to prove, sweetie?" Like basically,
well, she didn't want to do drugs.
She didn't want the epidural at all, right?
Yeah.
So she did the first one. She did Keelan
without it.
Yeah. And then she said, "Well, I'll do the second one."
Uh-huh.
So Kendrick's coming, and she's like, "Give me the shot. I can't." And they're like, "It's too late now."
Yeah. So she had to do it.
But my mom or them were like, "Why?" When they offered it early, my mom was like, "What are you?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? You don't have to prove anything. Like you did it already. We know you're tough. Like, what are you?" And she did both. She had both.
Did they try to force a C-section on either one of you guys?
No.
Because I heard that doctors kind of try to force a C-section because I guess they get some money from it because the surgery of it costs bread.
Oh,
yeah, I think it's like $10K or whatever. I forgot what it is, but it's like
no. The only thing that Jay ever tried to force, and the only time I had to ever get real with a nurse when they tried to force the flu shots.
Oh yeah,
immediately.
We didn't do those either.
And I was like, I've never done that in my life.
They never tried to force that on us.
They tried to do it one time, and I was like, no, thank you. She came back again. And I said, what I had to get like, and it was a lady, so I didn't want to. But I said, no, we don't do that because I've never gotten one. The kids have never gotten one. We've never gotten flu shot. We don't have the flu. And my mom didn't get them her entire life. Got the flu shot one year, caught the flu.
Got the flu, yeah.
And so when I saw that, I said, well, I'm good. I'm 40 years old. I ain't never had the flu. Like, why am I going to get a shot
Never?
now? Nope.
Wow. Yeah.
So I'm like, when am I going to get a shot?
It's like
and
your
if
genetic
I catch
makeup is superior. That's what you say. Yeah. Just tell
I'm
them
like,
that.
And Keelan has caught the flu once, but he's still not. I'm like, I'm going to give him a shot. If he catch it, he catch it. Nigga, like, I'm not.
You just deal with it.
Yeah, like, I'm not going to do it. So he caught it once. He was sick for a day or two, and then, nigga, it was over.
Because usually it's not. I don't think it's like a death thing. Maybe when it back in the day, it might
And
have
they
been a
change
thing.
every year. Like, it's a
Yeah.
different strand every. So what's the point of, like, nigga,
It
no.
mutates all that bullshit.
And I'm not saying if you get it, get it. I'm not telling y'all what to do. I'm just saying we don't get them because we don't think it's necessary.
I think I got it as a kid, and then after that, I stopped getting it. I made a decision. I was like, I don't want a flu shot no more.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. If I'm not scared of
And
getting
then
sick.
your mom
though.
supported you in that, and then you thanked her when you graduated.
You didn't graduate.
I didn't.
You didn't graduate?
Well, I walked. So I think
Okay.
I did graduate from a visual standpoint.
graduate.
I wasn't on the stage, and I just was like, yo! I just did that.
Your brother's
You
like, nigga, you need 13 more credits. Stop playing.
You knew it wasn't authentic. That's why you're like, hey.
Well, I didn't have a black grad. I didn't do black grad, so I just walked across the stage on the regular graduation.
Yeah, but you knew it wasn't real. You knew it was in your
He was
heart.
like, I'm not coming back
yeah,
this bitch.
in your heart, you knew it was empty.
I ain't
Because on
coming back to this
ours,
bitch.
we get we get our paper, we get the degree. You know,
You
blah,
get a degree,
blah.
so the degree gets sent in the mail at our school.
No,
so
we got it right then and there.
yeah.
And you take your little picture or whatever, and then move it along. Only my mom came to my college graduation though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my dad couldn't come. This was post divorce. You know, he had his own stuff going on. So my mom came to my college one. They all came to they made me go to my associates one. I didn't want to go to that.
Oh, I didn't go to mine.
They made me go.
They got associate's degrees?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they
What?
made me go. When you go to JC first, you leave, you get your associates.
Okay.
The 2 year.
If you
If you
get
got
the credits,
you know what I mean? So I got mine, and they made me
went to
go.
JC
They was like,
degree.
your grandma's in town. You got to go to that, blah, blah.
A lot of math to get an associate's degree.
Because I did my whole what's it called, but I didn't. I just transferred.
Yeah, if you got the credits.
Now, they both came to everybody came to my high school graduate, and that shit was crazy. We had family fly in. Like, it was
That's crazy
nuts.
thinking about it now, like what a high school graduation is.
Bruh.
It's like, nigga, we not.
It's crazy.
You don't need to call everybody.
And I remember feeling even then that high school graduation was something we just supposed
Yeah,
to
you
do.
just do, yeah.
I
Yeah.
felt more accomplished with my college degree because I was like, I had to work for this. I had to go. It's
Right.
extra. I was like, high school, nigga, what else I'm
Yeah.
supposed to do? So when everybody was like, congratulations, I was like, for doing
Yeah.
the bare minimum,
The bare
like
minimum.
for doing. I didn't feel that. College, I felt a sense of pride,
Yeah.
but high school, I'm like,
You know, black folks, especially if you know hood folks, we going to the
that's the thing,
middle school
too.
graduation.
my family is hood, both sides, right?
Mhm.
But they're not hood where my auntie got a degree. My mama
Oh,
went to
okay.
college. You know, it ain't like,
Yeah.
I think, so for
So now we
me,
got to define what's hood.
because they are, what's the word, bougie? They
Bougie.
bougie and
Bougie.
get, like they,
Yeah.
Bougie
you
at
know,
all.
they can play
They can
both.
access it. Yeah.
And for me, like, it ain't like we came from a family of like, you the first one to make it out of, you know what I mean? So I was just like,
Right.
why y'all doing this? Like,
I might be the
Or
first
you the
one.
prodigy or whatever?
But I think my family, now that I'm grown, my family just do that for everything. We
They just go hard.
your cousin is her
Yeah.
8th grade, nigga. We throwing a party. Like
Yeah.
we low key Mexican. Like we just we
But
just throw parties,
That's
bro.
actually great though, because your family comes across as, and even when I went to some functions with your family,
Yeah.
they're super supportive.
Yeah.
They're super family oriented, to where it's just like, yo, we love each other. Whereas I've been around other families, it's like, I don't really fuck with that nigga like that. It's like,
Yeah.
there is no thing where they want to come and support and make sure we're all. So you have a village. When I see your family, you have an actual village.
I
of a family.
can admit that younger, I took my family for granted. Like I was.
But
just
they were
like,
a little more distant, right? Because y'all was out in Antioch.
We were the only ones in the Bay. They were.
Yeah,
in now
yeah.
we're all see each other all the time because we're all out here.
Yeah.
But I think I did take it for granted as far as, yeah, this is what family.
Yeah.
Now that I'm grown and I'm more sentimental and now I appreciate every little get together, every little.
That's what matters.
You know, but when I was a kid, I was just like, what are y'all doing? You know? But I get it now, and I think with college, I think they cared more because my auntie went, but she didn't finish. My mama went, but she didn't finish.
Mm-hmm.
My dad, yeah, right. You know what I mean? So it's just like they was like, you. I think I am the first of us to get. No, my auntie got her degree. She had to go back though and get it. So I think they were happy about that, and that's why they were all giddy. But I just chalked it up to, you know what, we just do that.
Graduation. They gave you, because at our school they gave us like a paper. It was like a little paper thing that was folded up like a degree.
Oh, ours is our whole, like, I had it on the fold out.
Yeah.
Like,
we got a fake one of that too. It was just like, you got that, and it was like, when your degree comes in, you put it in this.
Yeah.
And you look hella young.
Let me see.
I had no facial hair. This is black. This is black.
This is your fraudulent graduation. He looks like he really graduated too.
Yeah, I mean, I walked, nigga.
Whose baby is this?
That's Ricky's son.
Oh yeah, 2 kids already?
No, that's well, who's the other baby?
I don't know.
Oh, that was my sister's kid. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She's not
your brother in the picture,
nephew.
like,
nigga didn't make it for real. But so yeah, that's the thing, man. It's
so if your kid get an award, you want the acknowledgement.
for sure. It's like I want them to acknowledge both of it, because even when it comes to, like, let's say they're acknowledging me more than their mom, I'm gonna say something about that. Like, you're going to you need to acknowledge both of your parents. Like, we sacrifice a lot for you.
What if you were mid as a dad? Like, what if could you self-reflect?
I'm not gonna be. I'm not gonna. I already know for a fact that I'm gonna be. I know I'm gonna be a dope dad. It might be a disciplinary at times, but it might have some issues with me. But I know as a dad, I already have. I'm taking all the good qualities that my dad had.
Yeah.
And how he was.
What if your kid go up there and it's like, y'all know what it is. I'm out. They don't acknowledge nobody.
I'd rather that. I honestly,
okay.
I'd rather that.
Okay.
I'd rather be like, hey, man, yo, I did it, man. Yo,
Yeah.
I'm a beast.
I'm out here.
Yeah, I'm out here.
I'm about to get this bread.
And then say something funny. I'll take that.
Okay.
I wouldn't be like,
Versus
why
you just like, you're not gonna just praise your mama.
Yeah, you just giving it one-sided. Like,
Yeah.
you sound like you was raised by a single mother, nigga. That no, you wasn't.
Yeah.
You're not gonna give me that type of energy. Hell no.
Maybe he was trying to get the single mother victimhood. He was trying to get that bag.
Naturally
He got
talk
on stage.
about-
We got a scholarship for children like you who were
my dad
raised
would
in
be like, oh,
adverse
shit, cool.
circumstances.
Yeah.
That would have been cool. Fucking dude. My dad wouldn't have cared.
I think I just naturally acknowledge my dad a lot just because of all the things we did was a lot of sports stuff.
Right.
So it was just a lot of sports that my mom just wasn't. But my mom came to everything.
Yeah, but do you think you also acknowledge your dad more because of how few people had their dads?
No, it's just the impact.
It's like a flex. You're almost flexing.
No, it's the impact for me.
Yeah.
Like the impact that he had on. Because my mom's impact, I think, hits now more as a parent. Me being able to cook and being like, that's who taught me how to cook. My mom taught me how to cook. My mom, the patience, because I had my mom's personality, more.
What about the cleaning?
Both of them.
What about the obsessive cleaning?
Both of them was not obsessive. Y'all just dirty.
Okay.
The both.
It's bad as that.
Y'all just dirty. I mean, the both.
Word's messy, but all right.
Only dirty niggas say it. My dad was military, so he was clean too.
Oh yeah. Okay.
My dad was clean.
My dad was watch the wall. He was just that's who he was. My dad actually made us do more chores than my mom, which my dad had us do the chores that I thought were unnecessary.
Oh okay.
I'm like, what is this for?
What's this wax on, wax off shit?
Like, what is, bro? But my mom's impact, my personality, the patience with children, the nice stuff, all that was 100% my mom. My dad was the structure that I needed, and just the enthusiasm, all that good stuff. But my mom came to everything. She might not have knew I played hoop for 50, and she still don't know all the rules.
Oh yeah.
King.
What's she in there doing?
She was just happy for her kids. Like,
Yeah.
she was just, because she was all in. Like, we have the footage where she's screaming, cheering. She just was like,
Yeah.
I'm just here because I fuck with my kids.
Yeah.
Like she came to my graduation by herself. She came to senior night, just her. You know what I mean? So my mom was definitely there. Came and cooked all the stuff and for everybody and
Team mom,
all
dope.
that. My mom was, my mom was very liked and very. She was super dope. I think my dad just had, for the things that I did, had a bigger
was
impact.
more his wheelhouse.
Because I think if you asked especially Kyron, he was a mama's boy more. Like snuggle, blah blah.
Because he do hair now.
He does. He's a
Why you
barber.
say
Yeah,
it?
like
Why do you say
he's a barber, nigga. Like what?
Why you say
He said it's so gay. Like
This nigga be nigga be braiding niggas' hair and shit.
Like on the yard, nigga sit between my legs.
No,
Like,
that's what a barber nigga you do hair. No, because
cut
somebody
hair.
it was
You
somebody
said
in
cut
the
hair.
it was somebody in the comments who said something about us, something, and I was like, nigga, you do hair. Like, you know what I mean? Essentially, I know you're a barber, but you effectively, nigga, you
I
do
think I
hair.
did see that comment. Yeah, that's funny.
That's hilarious.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
he a barber, and he lived with my mom in the divorce.
Okay, that's right. Because he's younger.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, and then Keith, I don't know who he would. He probably would be more split. But if I ever like get anything, I'm definitely thinking both of them. For
Who you thinking first?
Well, my dad, just because he said it. He was
Okay.
just like, just bring me up first. I don't
Okay.
care what you say after that.
Okay.
Just bring me up. Like,
Okay.
just bring me up first.
Okay.
But
And then who?
both. Mom. Cotty's going last because I have so much to say about
She's
her.
going last. Oh, she's gonna get the long. Okay.
Where
the kids go?
Save the best for last. I do it for them, so they're getting thrown in there.
Keelan, then Kendrick.
Yeah,
and
shout out
then-
to y'all.
okay.
And then Cotty's going last,
All
just
right.
to give the full on, backbone, all that. So
Yeah.
mom and dad for structure, especially dads. A lot of fathers get shit on for that. Yada yada. Mama, you were great. Blah blah. Kids, this for you. And last but not
Cotty,
the
full
whole
breakdown.
That's how you gonna divvy up the 30 seconds. All right.
And then shout out to my family friends. Boom, 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 boom.
What did they cut your mic before Cotty?
Well, mine's gonna be. I have it.
Okay, you got it ready.
And I talk fast. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
all
So
right,
if
all
nobody's interrupting, I
Yeah.
can fly through
you
this
gonna
shit.
fly through it?
Because I've thought about it. So ever since he said that, I've been thinking about speeches since that day, and I was
Oh,
young.
Nice.
So I've been thinking about speeches since that day. Whenever
Yeah.
I win something, I already know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I had this plan for years,
Yeah.
nigga.
Yeah,
Like,
that's funny.
Who you thinking?
Nigga, I'm not getting no awards.
You might. You
What
might
award?
get an Emmy for the artistic
What a-
vision of the
what
butterfly.
What
That's some
fucking
shit.
award would I
Kobe
get?
got an award for doing a
Oh,
letter to basketball. Nigga.
yeah,
You would do
yeah.
some shit like that. Letter to comedy. The fatherhood. Dooba-dooby-doo. You know what I mean? So
I thank
Brother.
YouTube. Shout out to YouTube for all the tutorials.
In all honesty, YouTube done helped a lot of niggas
Shit,
get by.
absolutely.